Although today is World Children's Day, we are saddened by news of a brutal murder of a young girl. The news of an 8-year-old girl's neck being severed was reported to us from the Thiriyaya area in Kuchaveli, Trincomalee. The murder had taken place last afternoon. The victim, Pulendran Dileksha, was a grade 3 student of Thiriyaya Tamil College. The murderer committed suicide by consuming poison. Police stated that the suspect was a neighbor. Our correspondent stated that the victim lived with her father, elder brother and sister while her mother left for an overseas job 4 days ago.
"11 incidents where parents had killed their own children reported this year," police media spokesperson. 1,611 incidents of child abuse reported so far this year, Police Women and Children's Bureau. An increasing trend of girls under 16 years of age being abused, police media spokesperson. When strict regulations are in place, why do such incidents take place? Today is World Children's Day. Isn't it time to think about our children's security?
SLMC candidate at the recently concluded Eastern Provincial Council poll, Asad Sali, says he challenges the SLMC leadership or any other representative of the SLMC to face him in a debate. Sali extended this challenge in response to a statement made by SLMC parliamentarian MHM Harris at a recent media briefing in Kalmune.
I must very clearly state here, if I have any skeleton in my cupboard, I won't be speaking like this. And if you can prove me wrong, I call upon the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress leadership or Harris, a small podium to me, to come for a TV debate. Let us speak who is right and who is wrong. And everybody knows who Harris is. He is getting ready to become the deputy minister in this cabinet, in this government. So he is going not to the supermarket but to the Kade. Everybody knows who Harris is. So that is why the Eastern people told me, "Sir, don't talk or reply this fellow because this fellow has nothing in his head. He only wants to join the government." Then also they are talking about Azad Sali has not even put some water to the tree that they have planted. Yes, Ashraf planted tree. People thought you will be watering it, but you are urinating on the tree. And today you are removing the roots of that tree. So I have nothing to say more about this. But whatever action that has to be taken, or whatever utterance that he makes, I will be taking action in due course.
In business news tonight, Minister of Internal Trade and Cooperatives Johnston Fernando says that companies have requested permission to increase the prices of chicken and cement, two items that are under price control. The minister said this while participating at an event in Nikavalutia today.
For months, they have been requesting an increase in cement prices. Requests have been made to increase the price of chicken as well. We are studying these requests. We will decide at the appropriate time. Companies cannot be allowed to shut down, but neither can we burden the consumer. This government will be fair by both parties. The minister also spoke about infant milk powder prices. A profit of 300 to 400 rupees is made from each pack of infant formula. There is no industry which makes so much profit from each pack. Some companies have created this situation where they can make such profits. We brought in price controls, but some organizations are resorting to various tactics to sell infant formula at higher prices. Cases will be filed against 150 businessmen. We will take legal action.
The resettlement of internally displaced persons following the end of the war has been officially completed. But is there a sense of normalcy in the day-to-day lives of the people in the north? A News First team visited these areas to find out firsthand.
It did not take us long to notice the precursors to development such as wide carpeted roads, banks and supermarkets along the A9 highway. But as we went deeper into the interior of the Wanni, the sights that beheld our eyes told a very different story. The Minister of Resettlement, Gunaratna Weerakon, says that the close to 300,000 people who were displaced during the war have now been resettled. There are guidelines that the United Nations Refugee Commission has set up for resettlement. The resettlement process was conducted in accordance with these guidelines. There was no forced resettlement. These people who lost everything to the war are now engaged in these tasks to make the land that they have been granted habitable. The abandoned vehicles, the felled trees and the ruined buildings all serve as a stark reminder of a 30-year-long saga of sorrow. The people who after 3 years of living in camps have been given the opportunity to take root in their lands say that in spite of their happiness, the lack of infrastructure means that the hardships they face are numerous.
எங்கட அடிப்படை வசதி எதுவும் இல்லை எங்களுக்கு இப்போ எங்கட தொழில் வாய்ப்பு ஒன்றும் இல்லை இனி நாங்கள் ஒரு தோட்டம் வைக்கிறண்டாலும் இவ்வளவும் சீராக்கி எங்களால் செய்ய முடியாது ஒரு தட்ட வயல்காணிகளுக்கு
We have no basic facilities. There are no employment opportunities. We were farmers. There are thousands of bunkers on the land. It will take a long time to make this land fit for cultivation and we need shelter, sanitation and drinking water.
அப்போ நாங்கள் இருக்கிற கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது வீடு எவருக்குமே வீடு அண்டி இல்லை
We have no facilities whatsoever. There is no housing, there is no fence. We have to travel far on foot for drinking water. It will cost around 100,000 rupees simply to remove the rubble. Others charge that they have been resettled in alien areas. The people who were displaced from Cape Pilau in the Mullaitivu district now have an abode in Suripuram following the closure of the Manik Farm IDP camp in Chettikulam. Their constant wail is that their 3-year-long dream of returning to their own homes has now been shattered.
We
have been waiting for 3 years to settle in our own lands. We trusted the government. We did not realize that our trust would be betrayed. We never thought we would be put in this position.
On the 25th of last month, the GAs and AGAs came and told us that the camp was being closed and that we would be resettled. They promised to resettle us with good facilities, but we have been resettled in a jungle without any facilities.
We have been resettled in a jungle without anything. This is very painful. When will these problems be addressed?
When will these problems be addressed? When the LTTE was retreating, they laid landmines in their wake, in the lands which belong to these people. We tried as much as possible to resettle them in their original lands, but the problem here was that some of these areas were completely destroyed. They have no other place to settle. What we are doing is we take them to an area where we build them rudimentary shelter so they can cook meals, and then we assist them to move forward from that point. What I have to say is that to bring them to a higher standard of living than they previously had, it will take at least 10 years. It is not a life of luxury that these people cry out for. All that these people whose dazed eyes tell the tale of nightmares wish for is a chance at a normal life.